Hello, everyone. Today, I want to talk about something very important. We will talk about how to talk to people in English. Many learners know words. Many learners understand English. But when it is time to speak to people, they feel shy. They feel nervous. Sometimes they stay quiet. This is very common. You are not alone in this feeling. Let me tell you a simple story. When I first tried to talk to people in English, I was very scared. My voice was not strong. My sentences were not clear. I made many mistakes. Sometimes, people did not understand me. I felt embarrassed. I wanted to stop. But something inside me said, "Keep going." So, I did not stop. Talking to people is one of the best ways to learn English. When you talk, you use real language. You do not just remember words, you use them. This is very powerful. Even if your sentences are simple, it is okay. Simple. English is still English at the beginning. You do not need big words. You do not need perfect grammar. You just need courage. You just need to try. For example, you can say hello. You can say, "How are you?" You can ask simple questions. These small steps are very important. I remember my first conversation. It was very short. I only said a few sentences, but I felt happy. It was like opening a new door. That small talk gave me confidence. It showed me that I can speak. One important thing is to stop worrying about mistakes. Mistakes are part of learning. When you make a mistake, you learn something new. If you do not speak, you do not learn. So, do not be afraid of mistakes. They are your teachers. Another helpful idea is to practice with friendly people. Find someone who is kind and patient. It can be a friend. It can be a classmate. It can even be someone online. Talk to them regularly. Practice small conversations every day. You can talk about simple topics. Talk about your food. Talk about your family. These topics are easy. They help you build confidence. You do not need to talk about difficult things in the beginning. I used to talk about my daily routine. I said things like, "I wake up early. I eat breakfast. I go to work." These simple sentences helped me a lot. Slowly, I started adding more words. My sentences became longer. Another good tip is to prepare small sentences before you talk. Think about what you want to say. Make simple sentences in your mind. This helps you feel ready. When you feel ready, you feel less nervous. Also, listen carefully when other people speak. Listening is very important. When you listen, you learn how people use words. You learn how they make sentences. This helps you speak better. Sometimes, you may not understand everything. That is okay. You can ask simple questions like, "Can you repeat?" or "Can you speak slowly?" People usually understand and help you. Do not feel shy to ask. I remember many times when I did not understand. I asked people to repeat. At first, I felt shy, but later I realized it is normal. Asking questions helps you learn faster. Another important thing is to smile when you talk. A smile makes you feel relaxed. Välkommen now. It also makes the other person feel comfortable. Communication is not only about words, it is also about feeling. You can also practice speaking alone. Talk to yourself. Describe what you see. Describe what you do. This may feel strange at first, but it really works. It helps you think in English. For example, you can say, I am sitting in a room. The room is quiet. I have a book. These small sentences build your speaking habit. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. Try to use English every day, even for a few minutes. Consistency is very important. If you practice every day, you will improve. Slowly, you will feel more confident. I also want to tell you that it is okay to feel nervous. Even good speakers feel nervous sometimes. The difference is they do not stop. They keep speaking. That is the secret. When I kept talking, something changed. My fear became smaller. My confidence became bigger. I started enjoying conversations. Talking in English became fun. Another tip is to celebrate small success. If you speak one sentence, that is success. If you talk for 1 minute, that is success. Be happy about your progress. It will motivate you. Also, do not compare yourself with others. Everyone learns at a different speed. Focus on your own journey. Focus on your improvement. Sometimes you will have good days. Sometimes you will have difficult days. This is normal. Do not stop. Keep going. Every day, you learn something new. Talking to people is like learning to walk. At first, it is difficult. You may fall, but with practice, you become stronger. One day, you will walk easily. In the same way, one day you will speak easily. So, start today. Talk to someone. Use simple words. Do not wait for perfect English. There is no perfect time. The best time is now. Every word you speak builds your confidence. Keep talking. Keep learning. You are improving step by step. Now, I want you to think, who can you talk to today? What simple sentences can you use? Start small, but start now. Your journey has started. Keep moving forward, Chapter R. Build confidence through daily conversations. Daily conversation is very powerful. When you speak every day, your brain becomes active. You start thinking faster. You start remembering words quickly. Slowly, speaking becomes natural. It becomes part of your life. In the beginning, your conversations can be very simple. You can say hello. You can ask, how are you? You can talk about the weather. You can talk about your plans. These small conversations are very important. They build your habit. I remember talking to a shopkeeper. I asked simple questions. I said, how much is this? I said, I want this. These were very small sentences, but they helped me speak in real life. That is what matters. Another good idea is to repeat the same type of conversation many times. For example, you can practice greeting people every day. You can say, hello, good morning, how are you? When you repeat these sentences, they become easy. You do not have to think too much. Repetition builds confidence. When you say something again and again, your fear goes away. Your mouth becomes comfortable with the words. Your voice becomes stronger. You can also create small daily speaking tasks. For example, today you talk about your morning. Tomorrow you talk about your food. The next day you talk about your work. These small topics make speaking easier. I used to give myself small topics. One day I talked about my family. I said, my family is small. I have 2 brothers. We live together. These simple sentences helped me build fluency. Another helpful tip is to use simple questions. Questions keep the conversation going. You can ask, where do you live? You can ask, what do you do? You can ask, what do you like? These questions are easy and useful. When you ask questions, the other person talks more. This gives you time to think. It also helps you learn new words from their answers. Sometimes you may not know what to say next. That is okay. You can use simple phrases like, that is nice, or that sounds good. These small phrases help you stay in the conversation. I also learned to use fillers. Fillers are small words like well, let me think. These words give you time. They help you think while speaking. They make your speech more natural. Another important thing is to speak slowly. You do not need to speak fast. Many learners think fast speaking is better, but clear speaking is better. Speak slowly and clearly. This helps people understand you. When you speak slowly, you also feel more relaxed. You have time to think. Your sentences become better. Listening is also very important in conversation. When you listen carefully, you understand better. You also learn how to respond. Good speaking comes from good listening. I remember listening to people carefully. I noticed how they used simple words. I noticed how they asked questions. This helped me improve my own speaking. Another tip is to practice with different people. People do not talk to only one person. Talk to different people if you can. Every person speaks differently. This helps you learn more. If you cannot find people around you, you can practice online. There are many platforms where people want to learn English. You can talk to them. They are also learning just like you. Do not worry about your accent. Your accent does not need to be perfect. What matters is that people understand you. Speak clearly. That is enough. I used to worry about my accent, but later I realized it is not important. Communication is important. If people understand you, you are doing well. Another helpful idea is to record your voice. Speak for 1 minute and record it. Then listen to it. This helps you hear your mistakes. It also shows your progress. At first, you may not like your voice. That is normal. But do not stop. Keep recording. Over time, you will see improvement. Also, try to use new words in your conversation. When you learn a new word, use it the same day. This helps you remember it. It also improves your vocabulary. For example, if you learn the word happy, use it in a sentence. Say, I feel happy today. This makes the word part of your speaking. Another important thing is to stay relaxed. Do not put too much pressure on yourself. You are learning. It is okay to take time. Enjoy the process. I remember days when I felt tired. On those days, I still spoke a little. Even 1 or 2 sentences are enough. The important thing is to continue. Consistency is more important than perfection. Small daily effort brings big results. If you speak every day, you will improve. Also, give yourself positive thoughts. Tell yourself, I can speak. Tell yourself, I am improving. These thoughts build confidence. Your mind is very powerful. If you believe you can do it, you will do it. Talking to people is like building a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. If you stop, it becomes weak. So keep using your speaking skill. Do not wait for long conversations. Short conversations are enough. Start small and grow slowly. Every day is a new chance to practice. Every conversation is a new opportunity. Use these chances. Now think about your day. When can you speak English? Who can you talk to? What simple sentences can you use? Start today. Speak a little. Then speak again tomorrow. Make it your daily habit. Your confidence will grow. Your fear will go away. You will become a better speaker step by step. Chapter 10. Learn to listen and respond naturally. Listening is the first step in communication. When you listen, you understand the other person. When you understand, you can give a better answer. This makes your conversation smooth and natural. In the beginning, listening may feel difficult. People speak fast. Words are not always clear. You may miss some parts. This is normal. Do not worry. With practice, your listening will improve. One simple way to improve listening is to focus on key words. You do not need to understand every word. Just listen for important words. These words help you understand the main idea. For example, if someone says, I went to the market yesterday and bought some fruits, you can focus on words like market, yesterday, fruits. These words help you understand the message. I used this method a lot. I did not try to understand everything. I listened for important words. Slowly, I started understanding more. Another helpful tip is to watch the speaker. Look at their face. Look at their expressions. Body language helps you understand meaning. Sometimes a smile or a hand movement gives you clues. Listening is not only about ears. It is also about eyes and attention. When you focus fully, you understand better. Another important skill is to respond naturally. Many learners try to make perfect sentences. They take too much time. This breaks the flow of conversation. Instead, try to respond simply and quickly. You can use short answers. For example, you can say, yes, I understand. You can say, that is interesting. You can say, really? These small responses show that you are listening. I remember using simple responses. Even when I did not have a long answer, I said small things. This helped me stay in the conversation. It made me feel more comfortable. Another good idea is to repeat part of what the other person says. This is called echoing. For example, if someone says, I watched a movie, you can say, you watched a movie? This shows you are listening. It also gives you time to think. Echoing is a very powerful technique. It makes the conversation natural. It also helps you learn sentence structure. You can also ask follow-up questions. Questions keep the conversation alive. For example, you can ask, "What movie did you watch?" You can ask, "Did you like it?" These questions are simple but effective. Asking questions shows interest. People like when you show interest. It makes them want to talk more. This makes your conversation longer and better. Sometimes you may not understand something. Do not stay silent. Ask for help. You can say, "Can you repeat?" You can say, "Can you say it slowly?" These are very useful sentences. I used these sentences many times. At first, I felt shy, but later I understood that asking is part of learning. People are usually happy to help. Another helpful tip is to listen to English outside of conversations. Listen to stories. Listen to videos. Listen to simple dialogues. This trains your ears. When you listen regularly, your brain becomes familiar with English sounds. Words become clearer. You understand faster. I used to listen to simple English stories every day. At first, I understood very little, but I kept listening. Slowly, I started understanding more. My listening improved, and my speaking also improved. Another important thing is to be patient with yourself. Listening takes time. Do not feel bad if you do not understand everything. Keep practicing. Try to listen to different people. Every person has a different way of speaking. This helps you become flexible. You learn to understand different styles. Also, do not translate everything into your language. This slows you down. Try to understand English directly. This makes your response faster. At first, I translated everything. It made speaking difficult, but when I stopped translating, I became faster. My conversation became smoother. Another useful idea is to practice listening and speaking together. For example, listen to a sentence and repeat it. This is called shadowing. It improves both skills. Shadowing helped me a lot. I listened to short sentences and repeated them. This improved my pronunciation and my listening. Also, try to stay calm during conversations. Do not panic if you miss something. Stay relaxed. Focus on what you understand. Confidence grows when you stay calm. Even if you understand only part of the conversation, it is okay. Use that part to respond. Remember, communication is not about perfection. It is about connection. If you understand and respond, you are communicating. Another tip is to practice active listening. This means you give full attention. Do not think about other things. Focus on the speaker. When you give full attention, you understand more. Your responses become better. I also want to remind you to enjoy conversations. Do not see them as tests. See them as learning opportunities. Every conversation teaches you something new. When you enjoy talking, you feel relaxed. When you feel relaxed, you speak better. Now, think about your next conversation. Try to listen more. Try to respond simply. Try to ask questions. You do not need perfect English. You just need to understand and respond. Keep practicing every day. Your listening will improve. Your speaking will improve. You will become more natural, step by step. You are becoming a better communicator. Chapter 4. Use simple words to speak clearly. Simple words help you speak faster. They help you think quickly. They also help the other person understand you better. Communication becomes smooth. This is what we want. You do not need long sentences. Short sentences are powerful. For example, instead of saying, "I would like to express my happiness," you can say, "I am happy." Both sentences have the same meaning, but the second one is easier and clearer. I used simple sentences every day. I said things like, "I am tired," "I am hungry," "I am going home." These small sentences helped me build confidence. Slowly, I added more words. Another important idea is to use words you already know. Do not try to use new words all the time. First, become comfortable with the words you have. Use them again and again. Repetition makes words strong in your mind. When you use the same words often, they become natural. You do not need to think too much. I remember using the same words in many situations. I used words like good, nice, big, small. These are simple words, but they are very useful. They helped me speak easily. Another helpful tip is to avoid translating difficult sentences from your language. When you translate, you may create long and confusing sentences. Instead, think in simple English. For example, instead of thinking a long sentence in your language and translating it, try to break it into small parts. Say one idea at a time. I practiced this every day. I spoke in small parts. First, I said one sentence, then another sentence. This made my speaking clear. Also, try to use common phrases. Common phrases are used in daily conversation. They are easy to remember and easy to use. For example, you can say, "I think so." You can say, "I understand." You can say, "No problem." These phrases are very helpful. They make your speech natural. I use these phrases a lot. They help me respond quickly. I did not need to think too much. Another good idea is to describe things in a simple way. If you do not know a word, do not stop. Use other words to explain. For example, if you do not know the word calculator, you can say it is a machine for counting numbers. This way you continue speaking. This skill is very important. It keeps the conversation going. It also shows your creativity. I used this method many times. When I forgot a word, I explained it in a simple way. People understood me, and I felt confident. Another important thing is to speak clearly. Do not speak too fast. Speak at a normal speed. Pronounce words clearly. When you speak clearly, people understand you better. This gives you confidence. It also makes the conversation smooth. You can practice clear speaking by reading aloud. Read simple sentences. Focus on each word. This improves your pronunciation. I used to read aloud every day. At first, it was slow, but later I became more comfortable. My speaking improved. Another helpful tip is to pause when needed. You do not need to speak without stopping. Small pauses are okay. They give you time to think, and pauses also make your speech clear. They help the listener understand your message. I learned to use pauses naturally. I spoke a little, then paused, then continued. This made my speech better. Also, try to use examples when you speak. Examples make your message clear. They help the listener understand easily. For example, if you say, I like fruits, you can add, I like apples and bananas. This makes your sentence more clear. Another good idea is to practice daily situations. Think about real-life conversations. Practice them with simple words. For example, practice ordering food. Practice asking for directions. Practice talking about your day. These situations are useful. I practiced these situations many times. When I faced them in real life, I felt ready. I spoke with confidence. Another important thing is to stay relaxed. Do not try to impress people with big words. Focus on clear communication. People care more about understanding you than your vocabulary. If they understand you, you are successful. I stopped trying to sound perfect. I focused on being clear. This changed my speaking completely. Also, remember that simple English is not weak. It is strong. Many native speakers use simple English in daily life. Simple English helps you connect with people. It makes communication easy and natural. Now, think about your speaking. Are you trying to use difficult words? Are you making long sentences? Try to simplify. Use short sentences. Use simple words. Speak clearly. This will improve your confidence. Practice every day. Use the words you know. Build slowly, step by step. Your English will grow. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to be clear. Keep going. You are learning. You are improving. Chapter 5. Keep the conversation going. Naturally, one important idea is to show interest. When you talk to someone, listen to them carefully. Then respond with interest. If they say something, for example, if someone says, I went to a park, you can say, that sounds nice. You can also ask, what did you do there? This keeps the conversation moving. When you show interest, the other person feels good. They want to talk more. This makes your conversation longer and more natural. Another helpful tip is to ask open questions. Open questions are questions that need more than yes or no answers. For example, instead of asking, did you like the movie? You can ask, what did you like about the movie? This gives the other person more to say. I used open questions in my conversations. It helped me a lot. People talked more, and I had more chances to respond. This made the conversation easy. You can also share your own ideas. Do not only ask questions. Add your thoughts. For example, if someone talks about food, you can say, I like food, too. I like spicy food. This makes the conversation balanced. Sharing ideas makes the conversation two-sided. Both people talk. This feels natural and comfortable. Another useful trick is to use linking sentences. These are small sentences that connect ideas. For example, you can say, that reminds me of something, or I had a similar experience. These sentences help you continue talking. I used linking sentences many times. That pertaft. Oh, they helped me move from one idea to another. The conversation did not stop. You can also talk about related topics. If one topic ends, move to another related topic. For example, if you talk about food, you can move to cooking. Then you can talk about your favorite dish. This creates a flow. The conversation feels smooth. There is no sudden stop. Another helpful idea is to use simple reactions. Reactions show that you are listening. You can say, "Really? Wow, that is great. That is interesting." These small words make a big difference. I used reactions often. They made my conversations more lively. The other person felt that I was listening. Sometimes you may run out of ideas. This is normal. In that moment, you can ask simple questions. You can ask about daily life. For example, what do you do every day? What do you like to do in your free time? These questions are easy and useful. They help you continue the conversation. Another important thing is to avoid long silence. If there is silence, say something simple. You can say, "Let me think," or "That is a good question." These sentences give you time. Silence is normal, but too much silence can feel uncomfortable. Small sentences help you stay active. I also learned to use stories. Short stories are very helpful. If someone talks about something, you can share a small story. For example, if someone talks about travel, you can share your travel experience. Stories make conversations interesting. People enjoy listening to stories. They also respond with their own stories. Another good idea is to practice common conversation topics. Topics like food, hobbies, work, and daily life are very common. If you practice these topics, you will feel ready. I practiced these topics many times. When I talked to people, I already had ideas. This made my speaking easier. Also, do not worry if the conversation is not perfect. Sometimes it will be short, sometimes it will be long. This is normal. Every conversation is different. The important thing is to keep trying. Every conversation teaches you something new. Another helpful tip is to stay relaxed. Do not think too much. Just talk naturally. If you think too much, you may feel nervous. Relaxation helps you speak better. It makes your words flow easily. I remember when I stopped overthinking, my conversations became smoother. I felt more confident. Also, be a good listener. Good listening helps you respond better. When you listen carefully, you get ideas for your next sentence. Listening and speaking work together. They make communication complete. Another idea is to end conversations politely. If you need to stop, say something nice. You can say, "It was nice talking to you," or "See you later." This leaves a good impression. Ending politely is also part of good communication. Now think about your next conversation. How will you keep it going? What questions will you ask? What ideas will you share? Practice these tips every day. Start small, improve slowly. You will see a big change. Your conversations will become longer. You will feel more comfortable. Keep talking. Keep learning. You are doing great. Chapter 6. Speak with confidence in real-life situations. Real-life situations are important. because they are real. You cannot control everything. People speak in different ways. They may speak fast. They may use new words, but this is how you grow. Start with small, real-life situations. Do not choose difficult ones in the beginning. For example, you can talk in a shop. You can ask for prices. You can order food. These situations are simple and common. I started with small situations. I went to a shop and asked simple questions. I said, "How much is this?" I said, "I want this." These were small steps, but they gave me real confidence. Another good idea is to prepare before you go out. Think about what you will say. Practice small sentences. This makes you feel ready. For example, if you are going to a restaurant, practice sentences like force fork. I want to order food, or can I see the menu? These simple sentences help you speak easily. Preparation reduces fear. Preparation reduces fear. When you know what to say, you feel calm. Another important tip is to accept that not everything will be perfect. Sometimes, you will make mistakes. Sometimes, people may not understand you. That is okay. Do not feel bad. Mistakes in real life are strong lessons. You remember them better. You improve faster. I remember one time I said something wrong in a shop. The person did not understand me. I felt embarrassed, but I tried again with different words. This time, they understood me. That moment taught me a lot. Another helpful idea is to use body language. Use your hands, use your expressions. This helps communication. Even if your words are not perfect, people can understand you. Communication is not only words. It is also gestures and expressions. I used body language many times. It helped me explain things when I did not know the exact words. Another important thing is to stay calm. Do not panic if something goes wrong. Take a small pause, breathe, then try again. Calmness gives you control. When you are calm, your mind works better. You remember words easily. I learned to stay calm in difficult situations. It made a big difference. My speaking became better. Another useful tip is to listen carefully in real situations. People may give you important information. If you listen well, you can respond better. For example, if someone gives directions, listen to key words. Then respond with simple sentences. Listening helps you stay connected in the conversation. Also, do not be afraid to ask for help. If you do not understand, ask again. You can say, "Can you repeat?" or "Can you explain?" This is normal. People usually help when you ask politely. Asking makes your communication clear. Another helpful idea is to practice common real-life dialogues. Practice situations like buying something, asking for help, or meeting someone new. I practice these dialogues many times. When I faced them in real life, I felt confident. Practice makes real situations easier. Another important thing is to focus on communication, not perfection. Your goal is to share your message. If people understand you, you are successful. Do not try to speak like a perfect speaker. Speak like a learner who is improving. I changed my mindset. I stopped chasing perfection. I focused on communication. This made speaking easier. Another tip is to celebrate your real-life efforts. If you speak in a real situation, feel proud. Even if it is just one sentence, it is a big step. I celebrated small wins. It kept me motivated. It made me want to try again. Also, try to increase your real-life practice slowly. Start with easy situations, then move to slightly difficult ones. For example, after talking in shops, try talking to a new person. Then try longer conversations. Step by step, you will improve. Do not rush. Take your time. Build your confidence slowly. Another helpful idea is to reflect after each conversation. Think about what went well. Think about what you can improve. Reflection helps you learn from your experience. It makes your next conversation better. I used to think about I remembered my mistakes. I corrected them. This helped me grow. Also, keep a positive attitude. Real-life speaking may feel challenging, but it is also exciting. Every situation is a chance to learn. When you see it as an opportunity, you feel less afraid. Now, think about your next real-life situation. Where will you speak? What will you say? How will you stay calm? Prepare a little, then go and try. Do not wait too long. Real-life speaking is the key to fluency. It makes your English strong and natural. Keep practicing. Keep trying. You are becoming more confident every day. Chapter 7. Become a natural English speaker. When I first started learning English, I could not say a full sentence. Then, I started speaking little by little. I practiced every day. I made many mistakes. I felt nervous many times. But I did not stop. Slowly, something changed. Speaking became easier. Words came faster. I did not have to think too much. It felt natural. This is your goal. You want English to feel natural. You want to speak without fear. You want to talk to people with confidence, and this is possible. You just need to keep going. A natural speaker does not think about every word. They do not stop again and again. They speak smoothly. 8. This comes from practice. This comes from daily use. One important step is to use English in your daily life. Do not keep English only for study time. Use it in small moments. Use it when you think. Use it when you speak. Use it when you write. For example, when you wake up, think in English. Say, "Today I will have a good day." When you eat, describe your food. Say, "This food is good." When you walk, describe what you see. These small habits make a big difference. I used English in my daily life. I talked to myself. I described everything around me. At first, it felt strange, but later it became normal. English became part of my life. Another important idea is to stop translating. When you translate, you slow down, you lose flow. Try to think directly in English. This helps you speak faster. At first, thinking in English is difficult, but with practice, it becomes easy. Start with simple thoughts. Use simple sentences. Slowly, your thinking will improve. Another helpful tip is to continue learning new words, but use them in real life. Do not just remember words, use them in your speaking. This makes them strong. For example, if you learn the word excited, use it. Say, I am excited today. This helps you remember and use the word naturally. Also, keep listening to English every day. Listening improves your speaking. It helps you learn natural phrases. It helps you understand how people talk. Talk. I listen to English stories, videos, and conversations every day. This helped me speak more naturally. I started using phrases that I heard. Another important thing is to stay consistent. Do not stop practicing. Even when you feel good, keep practicing. Consistency keeps your skills strong. If you stop, your progress may slow down. But if you continue, you will keep improving. Also, be confident in yourself. Believe that you can speak English. Confidence changes everything. When you believe in yourself, you speak better. I learned to trust myself. Even when I made mistakes, I believed I could improve. This belief helped me become a better speaker. Another helpful idea is to enjoy conversations. Do not see them as work. See them as fun. Talk about things you like. Share your ideas. Laugh and enjoy. When you enjoy speaking, you speak more. When you speak more, you improve faster. Also, remember that fluency does not mean perfection. You do not need perfect grammar. You do not need perfect words. You just need to communicate clearly. Many people speak English with small mistakes, but they speak confidently. People understand them. That is fluency. Another important step is to keep challenging yourself. Try new conversations. Talk to new people. Speak in new situations. Challenges help you grow. They push you out of your comfort zone. This is where real learning happens. I tried new situations again and again. Each time, I learned something new. My confidence grew stronger. Also, reflect on your journey. Think about where you started. Think about how much you have improved. This will make you feel proud. You have come a long way. Every step matters. Every effort counts. Another helpful idea is to help others. If you know someone who is learning English, talk to them. Share your experience. Teaching helps you learn more. I helped my friends when they were learning. It made my own English stronger. It also made me feel happy. Also, never stop learning. Language is always growing. There are always new words and new ways to speak. Stay curious. Curiosity keeps your learning alive. It keeps your journey exciting. Now, let us think about your future. Imagine yourself speaking English with confidence. Imagine talking to people easily. Imagine expressing your ideas clearly. This is not a dream. This is your future. You are already on this path. Keep practicing every day. Keep talking to people. Keep learning from your mistakes. You have the ability. You have the strength. You just need to continue. Your journey does not end here. This is just the beginning. There is always more to learn. There are always more people to talk to. So go out and speak. Use your English. Do not be afraid. Be confident. Talk to people. Share your voice. Express yourself. You are ready. Thank you for being part of this journey. Keep learning. Keep speaking and keep growing